But here's the thing, frickin' banjo and no fanfare. This is all good for us if we don't lose our minds like banjo. Banjo has lost its mind. It's pissing me off. If they're lying, I'm lying.
But when you deceive, you're actually trying very hard to set things up in such a way to ensure or guarantee as much as possible that the truth will not be discovered.
Was 24-hour sun in Antarctica acted? Quick and summary video that questions the veracity of the footage at the Union Glacier base. The first question is, why did the channel The Final Experiment remove all the videos it had posted of Antarctica from its channel? Why it would have been the first time that flight radar followed the flight route from Punta Arenas to the Union Glacier base, where over 100 people have been flying for the marathon for 10 years. Why are all the shots of the interviewees taken from a fixed camera like the astronauts do on the alleged ISS? Why is there this telephoto lens that should also move up and down in addition to turning to follow the sun when you only show a video, this one, where you can see the shadow of this mountain, where the other shadows are dubious, and if we use filters, you can clearly see the break between a background and the foreground. Why don't you see anyone go beyond this point?
For somebody like me and like you, we've never been in the South.
Never been in the South.
Never been in the South. Never been in the South. Never been in the South.
I know them. I've met them. I've hung out with them. I consider them good friends.
So at least we know we have two solid guys.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We have a very special show today since we got so many things going on. Happy Easter, or Pascua as we say in Portuguese. I got my Greek t-shirt, Christ is risen. Christ is risen. All right, so happy Easter for you, my dear friend, sister in Christ, Yuko is in the house. Happy, well, here in Japan, it's Monday morning, but Christ is risen. So welcome to the show, everyone. Let me shout out to a couple of people here. Nothing like a good banjo. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks so much. Your design. My brother in Christ, whistleblower, RMP. Thanks for being here, all of you. Garth Peterson, are you, brother? Glad to see you here. And all of you, welcome to the show. People who are arriving now, friends of the oceans in the house, thank you so much. Are you? So we will, I can read it really well because I need like reading glasses now. I'll check in a minute, all the mess. So welcome to the show, everyone. We do have a show that I plan to talk about the trees today, which we will do. Talk about the ancient trees. I did search some in South America because, we all been looking at the ones in North America, Devil's Tower, all those. But I wanted to highlight some others besides them. But also got some pictures to share with you from Dave from Oregon. Now discussions in the house, are you? So welcome to the show, everyone. Happy Resurrection Day. I think that's the best, because we don't have that Ishtar or Easter in Portuguese, in my language. We say Pascua, which is similar to Passover, that would be. So we say Passover, happy Passover, happy Pascua. So Easter is more the English language, which has a lot of witchcrafty words, so yeah. But so happy resurrection, maybe that's the best one. So we do have a great show today because NASA has given us so much to talk about. So much. Just for you to have an idea, I have been posting videos every other day. Every day he has 2,000 views. This one here, 5,000 views in 20 hours had 4,000 views. So NASA has given us so much material to work with, just like TFE. TFE gave us so much to talk about, and NASA keeps on giving us all this stuff to talk about. So, guys, you guys can hear me well, right? I hope so. I've been talking here. Sometimes I don't even know if my sound sounds okay. So, as I said, we do have a lot of things to talk today. So we're gonna try to go fast to cover everything that we do have today. So let me start. I think you guys can hear me well, okay? Christ is King. Yes, Christ is our King, and He has risen. That's why He's our King. All right, so let me start sharing the Bible verse of the day. As always, I love this Bible verse, Hebrews 1, 1 to 2. God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things. So God speaks to us through his Son. So that if there is no people in that place in the Middle East, if they don't recognize Jesus as the Messiah, there's no communication between them and the Father. So nobody's telling them to build any temple. Okay, there's no communication between them and the Father because this communication can only be possible through Jesus Christ. A few weeks ago, I talked to you about these electrotyping bodies. That was in July 2nd, 1886, Alexandria Post. It's how they had the technique to make bodies, dead bodies, people transform them into statues. So that's why we question sometimes when we see those most imperfect statues, how close to reality they are. It seems like, wow, how can someone 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, have had the technology to do that? Well, it's called electrotype. So I want you to take a listen to this video real quick here. So as I said, we got a few things to cover today, and so I gotta be rushing on this. So take a listen to this one.
Don't look at the store, look at the mannequin, because something about it is seriously off. At first it just looks hyper realistic. The skin, the eyes, even the expression feels almost too lifelike. But then you notice a chain hooked from the top of its head straight into its mouth, dragging its body upward and forcing it into this stiff, unnatural position, like it's being held there, and somehow nobody around reacts like anything's wrong. As the camera moves closer, the uneasiness starts to build, because the closer you look, the less it feels like a mannequin and more like something pretending to be one. And then right when you think that's the worst part, the camera shifts slightly back and reveals another identical figure standing behind it. Same face, same expression, except that one isn't still, it's moving. And at that point you realize you might not be looking at mannequins at all.
Yes, those mannequins, the Balenciaga stuff, everything they say it's a conspiracy and then turned out to be true. We saw with the whole Epstein files, the more you dig into that, the more sickening it becomes. So those statues, they're pretty, I don't doubt it, those are living, not living, those are people transformed into a statue. They have the technology of doing that. And I have no doubt they are evil, evil people, they would do that stuff. So let's talk a bit about the fake Themis too. Now, as somebody posted here, fake Artemis or fake Themis. Michigan's in the house. Happy Easter. Feliz Páscoa, as we say in Portuguese. It's a better word for me because Easter comes from Ishtar, But Happy Resurrection Day. All right, so let's talk about these fake terms here for a minute. NASA is up to that again. Are you ready for the new moon landings? Just like TFE, Amazon Studio 15, right there, Antarctica rain on top, Amazon Studio 15. So they published this picture. At first, I was like, "What's going on here?" Well, on the first day, people said that was Australia, and then on the second day, say, "No, this is Africa." So you just see a piece of land right here. So I compared if this is Africa, what the land is this? This is Europe right there. That should be Spain, Gibraltar right here, and Spain, Portugal. It does look really weird if you pay attention, because if you think this is Africa, and I mean, this is a globe. We should be able to see Antarctica here and South America, but it's pretty much evident that what they did here, if this is a real picture, is just a high altitude picture taken with a weather balloon or something from this area, and they wrapped it around the ball, right? Because it's not, definitely is not the whole globe. But there's another problem. All of this would be on the other side. If this is the only thing they were able to get on the globe, what happened to all of North America, South America, the rest of Africa, the whole Europe and Asia and Australia, right? Where is it? It should be all on the other side of the ball, because here we see one half of the ball, so everything else should be on the other side of the ball. That's the picture they just released, right? So a lot of inconsistencies on their parts, right? And this is one of them. When I saw the picture, and people are pointing out, as you have seen on the compilations, TikTok compilations that I uploaded, the clouds are the same. And now the points, like, this is an eclipse, Earth eclipse, because the sun is supposed to be on the other side. So between the sun and the Artemis 2 astronauts, Earth is in the middle, Earth is in between. So there is an eclipse there. So you see Earth also illuminated, just like the sun was shining on this face of the Earth, not on the other side, not on the opposite side. So a global tried to explain, say, oh no, because the light of the moon is reflecting, the light of the sun is reflecting on the moon and illuminating the whole Earth. Well, that never happened before, because this looks like daytime. We should be experiencing like 24 hours daytime if that was the case. And another point is, like, when we have lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, solar eclipse, the sun is shining upon the Earth, and the moon being so small compared to Earth, it should be illuminated as well, not dark, okay, if that was the case. So the global tried to explain that, oh, the Earth is being illuminated by the moon. No, it's not. So a lot of inconsistencies on NASA's official, mission to the moon. And where is the rest of the world? Where are all the continents? So a lot of inconsistencies there we can see with this, right? So let me see. I want to show you this. So we got here some more stuff that's worth pointing out, okay? So we have here that looks like an inflatable balloon. It does look, look all these bent marks right here. Look, this definitely looks like a inflatable balloon. Nowhere does it look like a metal thing. Now, I don't know about the veracity of this picture here. It's somebody ran it on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT replying saying it's not AI. So perhaps this picture was taken some time ago when they were, rehearsing all the stuff. I cannot tell, I cannot say if this is real or fake. I searched about it. One lady searched about it. She submitted to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT came out saying it was not AI. So I don't know. But judging by this other footage, which was on Fox News, it does look a lot like an inflatable balloon. Right here, even see you see some fireworks going off there, just like when Erika Kirk was on stage. Looks a lot like those fireworks. It looks like a balloon. Now, the main point here, you see all this glitch, is this thing here going down. All right, that's what we're gonna focus right now. This line here, skip line here. What's the name of this? I forgot. Uh, it's escape. They're escaping with this. Now, so another Glober tried to say, oh, I think it was Globe, Mike Face. Oh, you don't see the astronaut. Of course not. They are ducking. They are lying down here. They're not, oh, here we are, maybe. No, they are hiding. So here you see again, right? The moment they lift off, they came down right there. All four of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. You even see the numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You see again. And I think Russian Vids, shout out to Russian Vids. He has a video covering all that stuff as well. So you might want to check it out. So that you have there, they are. Just like if you watch it, the Capricorn one. And also, not long ago, I have another video I just uploaded. April Fool's, that was my birthday actually. And then immediately when they switch it to the CGI or the space, you no longer see the smoke, because on the ground you see the smoke of the rockets going up, and now the smoke disappears, on that footage. It's here where it's probably falling, and there's nobody there anyway, Can be just aluminum foil, whatever. There's nobody inside, and that's more of NASA's lies. Okay, pretty pathetic, to say the least. So why are they doing this stuff now? Now, if you see here, just on March 18th, White House registered new alien-related .gov domain. Okay, few days. National Security Agency Gov, NSA, communication with extraterrestrials intelligence. BBC, Trump directs US government to prepare release of files. So they are getting ready for the disclosure. So this whole Artemis, they're probably going to display some, footage saying, yeah, Artemis captured that during their trip to the so-called moon. All right. So let me show you this thing here before. Very important video here.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. It's true. There are aliens living amongst us. There are aliens in Area 51. There are even alien human hybrids. I have been briefed this morning in a top secret intelligence briefing that exposes all. Unfortunately, I am forbidden from speaking about it under pain of death. But know this, I will fight for accountability and I will fight for transparency. There is more to come. Stay tuned. Follow for more.
All right, that was the Australian lawmaker stating that he had been briefed on this whole alien stuff. So they are preparing for disclosure. And, this Artemis, they rushed into doing right now. Well, it's just an acting way. They are just in studio, So we're going to talk more about that, the Central Cast. Let me just shout out here some of you. Well, it depends, the trust. I mean, they are definitely ducked in there. You don't know what kind of uh, s- uh, ceiling they have, you know. They might be there in that ceiling. I don't know. We never know. All right, so let's move on to something else that I have to say. So we know that there was I think it was on Fox as well. They said they called two of the astronauts. They are central casting. Two of the astronauts, right? So take a listen this here.
I'm sorry, straight out of where?
With Donald Trump, NASA's back. Tomorrow, this mission's going off. The 127th mission to the space station. Mike and Sonia, the two of the four American astronauts that are on that flight, they're right out of central casting. But what happened, Sean? You talked about the moon, and I want to
The
get to that.
conspiracy theorists are like 40-0, people. 40-0. Yet you still laugh at us for questioning everything. You laugh at us when we point out the very facts of the inconsistency and all the plot holes and everything else. You laugh at us when we give you information that's verifiable, and you say that's not true because they told me so. Woe is me, you followers and lemmings, as you fall off of a cliff of deception instead of accepting the truth of what is life. Christ is the truth. The earth is a sealed realm. You cannot escape. Yet you are out here gobbling up central casting and all their associates as though it's the godly divine truth. Our Messiah rose from the death and saved us all at this very time of year. And on April Fools, you guys were played once again. Wake up, people.
Central casting, central casting, central casting, central casting, TFE, central casting, NASA central casting. A lot of government politicians that are actually central casting. Some of those, astronauts central casting. So central casting is everywhere. All right. So thinking about that, about this whole central casting. This past week, I was, I always have to talk to people, explain what's going on, what happened with TFE, what happened in Antarctica. And the story is out there. Many of us have it documented. You can visit many channels. Shout out to No Fun Fair. Russian Vids, Vika Draziv. So many of them cover the whole fakery on TFE. Central casting actors. Jaron Campanella, central casting. Jonathan Mariandes, central casting. So many of them. So I decided to put it together. I mean, the whole story is written, we all know by heart, what we know. And normally I tell the people what happened. So I wrote down everything, and I decided just to make a song about it. Right? So this is going to be our first song for today. I did play for my daughter. She's 20 years old, and she immediately understood the whole thing. She had heard about TFE, but once she watched the song, because it's a song, but it's the story of TFE. Every line is based on facts. It's all documented. We have receipts for everything. I have display. I've shown this here over and over again. If any line of this song you think it's not accurate, ask me and we will present the receipts. All right. So this is our first song for today. Enjoy it and pay attention on the lyrics because everything there is 100% true. Okay. TFE summed up in a song.
I'm curious about this TFE. It all started in the fall of 2023. This Colorado guy made a video among the bushes saying he was gonna put flat earth back to bed and this new idea forward he pushes. He had secret phone calls with a guy named David Weiss about going in went to this YouTube live stream staring Duran Campanella, a guy who has some shady Bitcoin business with Willis, his good fella. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. It was then early 2024. The story becomes even shadier than it was before. It turned out this guy's name was Pastor Will Duffy from Colorado. I'd say he worked with Bob Earhart, who wanted to send flat earthers to space. Duran, who says he hates Jesus, said he's good friends with Bob's son Dominic. I'm not making any of this stuff up, I just can't understand it. Many Christians never heard of Bob Earhart, but Duran the atheist was good friends with them so far. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Duffy then hires Duran to go to Antarctica in 2025. Duran had already starred in a Netflix flat earth hit piece before. Duran brings his business partner, Austin Whitsitt, among the stars, who was shocked to stardom in 2023, appearing even on Stu Peters and InfoWars. David Weiss went to several live streams defending TFE, Duran and Austin as a team. Weiss acted as TFE's lawyer, Brendan Austin on Dustin Nemo's show. He's also defended Jonathan Mariandi on TikToks and live in other channels, I don't know. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. He's made several videos defending his buddies in TFE. Why said Duran was the best flat earther anyone could see, but Duran already showed his colors in Behind the Curve. He found Earth's curvature in 400 yards, yeah, he had the nerve. Weiss and Duran were good friends, as close as carrots and peas. They were 24 hours together for 10 years straight, as close as one can be. From Mondays to Sundays on YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin, and Odyssey. Controlled opposition in all platforms, culminating with TFE. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Duran went to Bro Sanshine's YouTube show not long ago, saying Earth was a bigger ball and on top was flat like a Home Depot. David Weiss said the same lines on a different stream. He said Earth was a bigger ball, if you know what I mean. Duran and Austin went to Amazon Studio 15. We know that because they couldn't provide an Antarctica midnight live stream. Austin said the sun was dancing in the sky, while an Antarctica passport stamp neither one of them could provide. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE, shields exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Duran didn't even know how to position his compass anywhere. He held it upside down, said there were 100 people at the camp. Then he said only 10 people were there. On TikTok Live, he said he had never been in the South. NASA shills, no doubt about infiltrators since 2015, trying to control the flat earth movement, controlling us all from within. And so the story ends, these shills expose themselves for everyone to see. They're revealed to be central casting actors working with Will Duffy and his TFE. Central casting TFE, TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Duran didn't even know how to position his compass anywhere. He held it upside down, said there were 100 people at the camp. Then he said only 10 people were there. On TikTok Live, he said he had never been in the South. Massive shills, no doubt about infiltrators since 2015, trying to control the flat earth movement, controlling us all from within. And so the story ends, these shills expose themselves for the whole world to see. They're revealed to be central casting actors working with Will Duffy and his TFE. Central casting TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see.
Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this song because every line of it is factual. You know, it was pretty easy to put it together because we already knew the story. You know, everything there, we have the receipts of every line, everything in that song. We have all the receipts. So all I did was wrote down the lyrics and I used Suno to create the song. Now, because I use Suno, the free account, it's quite expensive to subscribe for them. They have three, I think, pronunciation mistakes. And for me to be able to edit and correct that, I would have to pay. So there are three, for example, 2024, she says some words there that I can understand, 20 something. And then two others, okay? But that's because I use the free account, you know, I'm just not gonna be subscribing. Now the song is hello, how are you? Welcome, as my dear friend Don. I have missed you, okay? I've missed you. Welcome to the show. Christ is risen. Christ is risen. All right, so I use Suno to put it together. I just wrote down, I had already the story ready. Okay, so this song is on the playlist, right? You just go to the playlist and I'll share here with you right now. Go to my channel, go to the playlist. You see there, Flat Earth Music. When you click, it's the very second song on the list, the final experiment summed up in a song. It's this song right there. Okay, now it's not public yet, it's unlisted. I'm still thinking because when I created the song, I wanted to have the girls playing the guitar at the main part. And I searched for girls playing the guitars, you know, like stock footage. So I found that on Yandex, the Russian search engine. And thanks, Yuka. Thank you so much. I found Yandex. So I used it. And after I used it, I put the video together. I found out that's a K-pop group, you know. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I will edit and then I will make it public. But it's there. Go to the playlist. You can listen, you can download and sing, you know. It's a great song. My daughter loved it and so many people liked it. You know. Hey man, thanks, Don. I'm really happy to see you here. Really happy, you know. So let's move on. I have some other stuff to share with you today, and that was the first song. You know, that was the very first song, and I want to let's talk about the giant trees. That was going to be the main part of the show today. We were going to talk about these petrified trees, and but NASA, decided to change the whole thing and and make things differently. So we have here the map of the North Pole. This is from my friend David from Oregon. The tree of life is a central biblical symbol representing eternal life and God's divine provision, appearing at the beginning of Scripture in Genesis and at the end in Revelation. In the Garden of Eden, it stood in the middle of the garden alongside the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, serving as a source of physical immortality for Adam and Eve before the fall. So we don't know exactly where here the Garden of the Eden was. We have four quarters. I do not believe it's this mountain here was a tree cut, because according to the hagiography documents, this mountain was erected at the beginning of the Millennium Kingdom. Okay, it came out of the sea. That's according to the hagiography documents. After humanity disobeyed God by eating from the forbidden tree, access to the tree of life was restricted by cherubim and a flaming sword to prevent sinful humans from living forever in a fallen state. In the Old Testament wisdom literature, such as Proverbs, the tree metaphorically represents wisdom and the life-giving benefits of righteousness. In the book of Revelation, the tree is restored in the New Jerusalem, flowing from the river of life with 12 kinds of fruits and leaves for the healing of the nations. This final period signifies the restoration of eternal life and the complete redemption of creation, where access to the tree is granted to those who have come to keep God's commandments. All right. So since we're talking about trees, so this is what they've sent me from Brave, a quick search on this tree of life. So these are images that Dave took as he was traveling in Oregon. And then I have the name of the place, I just don't have it right here. So you see this, when I first posted, when I became a flat earther back 2015, 16, I posted a Devil's Tower picture on my Facebook group. And that time I still had my professors, as friends, my professors, all the PhDs who interview me. I don't know how many of you has gone through the Master of Science degree as I did. I had to get my degree, to graduate, I had to be like questioned for 2 hours without these PhDs. It was a long table. I think there were 8 of them, and I was at the head of the table. And all of them, they were like, I think like 4. Yeah, it was a long table with all these PhDs asking me questions. And at the end of the day, my professor told me, wow, they were really impressed at you. They liked your answers. So that's how I got my degree. So I had them on my Facebook. When I posted saying there was a tree stump, one of them said, no, that's just volcanic like lava. So this is another picture here that they've sent. It is definitely a branch of one of those petrified trees, it's a branch. So this is, I have the name here, it's Oregon. I have the name here, I'll show you in a minute, okay? So he drove by this place here. Let's see here what it says. With gratitude to our Central Council, all Hood River. So those are our petrified branches of a giant tree. See there? And here, these are really nice. As he drove by, he took these pictures. You see there, this was probably a giant tree and what remains of it. Look at this one. This is all in Oregon, okay? So there's way more of these scattered around the earth. This is definitely, silicon-based columns, not lava. Definitely not lava. Yeah, again, more big shout out today from Oregon for sending me this. Beautiful. We have some rock formations like that in Brazil. And once I went over the top of them and I found like seashells there. Here you have it. And here, as he drove by, he took my pictures here. See, so these are not lava. These are silicon based. That's him driving and taking pictures of all these columns right there. Okay, this is in Oregon. Beautiful, beautiful, really beautiful. All this mesa, like cut flat on top. Impossible to be done by lava. Impossible. Lots of pictures, lots of places in Oregon. If you guys are around that area there, you want to check this out, I'll give you the address in just a second. For all of you in Oregon, okay, I think this is it. So this is called, I forgot the name. Can't read it. Gotta use my wire here. Wear my glass. Oh, Columbia River Gorge. Columbia River Gorge. So these are the ones in Oregon, and I want to share some others here. I try to share from South America. So we have this big one in South America. This is between Brazil, Venezuela, and British Guiana. You see a stamp from 1897 talking about the Mount Roraima. Roraima is a state in Brazil. That's the name of the state. British Guiana, 1897, Mount Roraima. So this is the Mount Roraima, right? It's flat on top. I did show you a couple weeks ago. So you see one is on the side of Venezuela. That's where Angels Falls is located. And this one is on the side of Brazil. But there are a couple more around. Most of them are on the side of Venezuela. This is Angel Falls, Mount Roraima, right here. Mount Roraima, Brazil. That's huge. Okay, flat on top, and you see it's the silicon base, both of mountains again. One more time from this distance. People camping there at night. You see, it's not easy to get there, but it's possible. From the top, you see there. This is definitely in my opinion, a tree stump, not volcanic, not created by a volcano. No, flat on top, just like those accounts. This is Angels Falls. If you remember that movie, Up, very nice movie, very sad. He created a balloon tie on his house, lots of helium balloons, and landed right here. They landed right here. Very nice movie. So this is actually in Arabia. So as I said, I didn't want to show you just North America. I want to show you some in Brazil, South America, and this is in Saudi Arabia, and they have some in India as well. So these are called mesas. Even though it's not flat on top, I researched it a bit, and they are considered mesas. Okay, this is not like Arizona or anything. This is in the Saudi Arabia. I think that's all that I have from here. Right? So giant trees, and let me catch up here with the. So if you guys are around the area, Oregon, Washington State, maybe Northern California, it's a good thing to visit. Drive through these places, document, right? So I'm gonna play a second song today. Since the songs are You know what? The nice things about this Suno is that you can write things that are based on facts and make it into a song. So take a listen to this song right here. Right, let me cut up this on. Okay, this one right here.
I'm curious about the CIA because most people think it exists to protect national security, and that gets said a lot. But I wanted to know who's security exactly and whose nation. During World War II, the US built its first spy agency, the OSS, not with soldiers, with Wall Street lawyers, and they built it around one idea, that what's good for American businesses is good for America. And when the war ended, Congress shut it down. 2 years later, the same guy started the CIA, same people, same mindset, new name, secret budget, and this time almost nobody watching them. After the war, Truman said don't bring over Nazis or war criminals, and the CIA brought over 1,600 of them anyway, scrubbed their records, gave them new identities and American careers. They called it Operation Paperclip, the most famous being Werner von Braun, who ran the Nazi rocket program using concentration camp prisoners as slave labor, and then became the father of NASA and got a crater on the moon named after him, which does seem like a successful rebranding. The CIA from 1953 to 1961. His brother was running the State Department at the same time, and both of them had personal and financial ties to the United Fruit Company. So when Guatemala's elected president tried to give farmland back to his people, and that United Fruit claimed the CIA did a coup, 200,000 Guatemalans died in the civil war that followed, and United Fruit kept its land because apparently that's what we were calling national security. When McCarthy tried to look into the CIA, Dulles broke into his Senate office, fed him fake intelligence, and ran the story through Operation Mockingbird, a network of journalists on the CIA payroll at 25 American newspapers and wire agencies. And when the press still got too close, they just wiretapped the journalists directly 24 hours a day and kept a list of every senator, every White House aide, every Pentagon source who was still talking. That same playbook ran in Iran, Chile, Nicaragua, the Congo, and Afghanistan. Elected leaders removed friendly dictators, installed rebel armies secretly funded, and when Congress specifically voted to cut off contra funding in Nicaragua, the CIA sold weapons to Iran through Israel, took the money, funded them anyway, and flew drugs back on the same planes, which is efficient, I guess. From the very beginning, the CIA had a secret arrangement with Israeli intelligence, run for 20 years by one man, James Angleton, who was all supposed to be the person protecting the US from foreign spies. And when he died, the heads of Mossad and Shin Bet gathered in secret in Jerusalem to lay a memorial stone that reads in memory of a dear friend. When many of this got looked into, the same people kept coming up. The CIA planned the Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba, told Kennedy it would work, it didn't, and Kennedy fired Dulles for it, then told the people around him he wanted to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds. He was assassinated the following year. Lyndon Johnson appointed the man Kennedy fired to lead the official investigation into Kennedy's assassination. George H.W. Bush ran the CIA, then helped run Iran-Contra as vice president. Then as president, let everyone off the hook. His attorney general, William Barr, told him to pardon them all. The same Barr used to work at the CIA, whose father, Donald Barr, served in the OSS, hired a college dropout named Jeffrey Epstein to teach at an elite school without a degree, and wrote a science fiction novel about elites keeping humans as sex slaves. And William Barr came back as attorney general the year Jeffrey Epstein died in a federal jail with the cameras broken and the guards asleep. So just to recap, Wall Street lawyers built a spy agency and called it National Security. 1,600 Nazis got new American careers and called it science. The CIA ran a media network to control what Americans believed and called it tribalism. They did coups on 4 continents for corporate interests and called it democracy. They ran weapons and drugs when Congress said no and called it off the books. And the same families have been running and covering for it for 70 years and calling it public service. And now the Epstein files are out and half of them are still missing or heavily redacted, and they're calling it compliance. Oversight is being dismantled and they're calling it efficiency. And the people asking questions are being called the threat. I'm just curious how many of the things stories we were taught to believe were written by the same agency. We've been funding our entire lives without being allowed to know what it does. Know what it does. Know what it does.
All right, great song, guys. Great song. So all these songs we play here, go there, Flat Earth Music. You will see right there. I'm curious about the CIA. That's the one that you just heard today. I'm gonna play the Glitchy Witch today, and see if we have time. I'm gonna play Steve McManaman. Great song about the TFE. So let's see if we can play all these songs today. So shout out to all of you. Tom is love. Sorry, let me. Okay, yeah, Tom's Love 4, shout out to you, all of you who are joining now. Great song. This is true. Every single line of this song, you know, it's 100% correct. Yes, Don, 100%, you know, 100%. So pretty nice that we are able now to place all this stuff into songs, because they don't censor songs as much as they do if we just speak about it. If I were to talk about all that stuff, definitely we would be censored. But we play as a song, they consider to be art. So it's not as censored as, you know. So great stuff. And I plan to write more, and I encourage you guys to write more and, you know, and send it to me. So I want to share one more thing here, and then we will just talk. So last week I talked about the 2,000 years gap, and then we switched to other topics. And I got some people, you know, I don't like to block anyone. I don't. But the problem is like the guy, he was literally spamming, not just spamming, and then every comment that I replied to somebody else, he would spam. So I had to, besides calling me so many names, you know. But let me say what I am really trying to say for several weeks, okay? So this pastor, he just posted this. He calls flat earth fanatics, why I'm not a flat earth nut. And he keeps pushing about the rapture soon. So many more videos today. As a matter of fact, people were expecting the rapture this weekend, you know? And I am coming. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Let me see. So this guy here said, the problem is you don't understand the difference between dispensationalism and gap theory. Stick to flat earth because you don't have good theology. So my reply is, you sound like Globers. You don't understand how gravity works. Nah, thanks for the advice. Been listening, studying dispensationalism for 40 years, and it's a house of cards. Why? Because he thinks that I don't understand. So what takes somebody to understand prophecy? You know, like, do you have to go to a dispensationalist school? You know, that's my point. So classical dispensationalism strongly depends on this gap, the 2,000 years gap of Daniel. Why? Because it is a distinction between Israel and the church. Daniel's prophecy specifically about Israel. So when Israel rejects the Messiah, the timeline pauses. And that's my problem, because there's no pause in the prophecy. So this is a book, 880 Reasons Why Rapture Will Be in 1988, book on borrowed time by Edgar C. Wisenant. $89 if you want to buy this book on eBay. So I told you guys, I was in an Assembly of God, 1984. The pastor was preaching that Jesus was going to return in 1988. And I have a big problem with that right now, because I think that these guys, they are just preaching fear. And take a listen at this. You know, I translated from from Portuguese to English. This is a pastor who pushes this whole thing on, oh, the rapture will be soon. Listen to this.
So you can buy a car, that's fine. But buying a plane is a sin because it costs more. What kind of illogical logic is that? And actually, the plane I bought today is quite old. It's a 1985 plane. It's well maintained, and I need to replace it. And I'm praying to God to open doors for me to touch people because I need a newer plane.
So that's a pastor who keeps pushing this whole Daniel 70 weeks, rapture is coming, he bought a $12 million airplane and now he's praying. So his donors, his church, he's an Assembly of God pastor. And he's praying that his church will give him more money to buy a newer plane because he's not happy with that 1985 $12 million airplane. So I have had a lot of problems with this. I don't think these people are able to tell me prophecy. I just don't, so I don't want to listen prophecy from these people. I definitely don't believe what they're saying anymore, and that's my instance on that, so I don't want to talk much about it, but I want you guys to understand, like, my position. I was in a church. I was told in 1984 Jesus will come back in 1988. I just showed the whole book last week. I talked about another pastor saying, 1989, and these people are dead, most of those, especially, and I like the Assembly of God. My two daughters, they go to the Assembly of God. I've been there a couple times. But the problem is, like, when I went there the last time, the pastor was making fun of flat earthers, right? So these people claim to have the gift of prophecy, can tell when the end of the times, can say that there is a gap in the Daniel's prophecy. At the same time, they don't understand that the earth is not a spinning ball. They believe in NASA, just like that guy that I just showed you, He's been making lots of videos on TikTok, dissing flat earth, and making fun of flat earth, at the same time promoting rapture. Rapture was supposed to happen this weekend, right? True Christian, let's see if we can talk, soon. So I got two more songs to play, and I want to go ahead and talk let me see, this one here. That's going to be this one. That's a TFE song. Let's take a listen.
Yeah. Did you see that feed? Was out there in that dark claiming the sun never sets. Man, I told you it was a setup. Will Duffy and his Globe Troll crew, they're just running a script from a studio in Chile. So what? We just gonna sit here and let them regulate the truth. Nah, it's time to mount up. Check the frequency. Control our position, now they're trying to deceive. Drafting up a narrative that wants you to believe. Will Duffy on the stage, yeah, he's playing his part. Casting spells with experiments to twist up your heart. I'm seeing through the smoke, through the mirrors and the haze. They got the masses locked inside a mental maze. The final experiment, they screaming it loud, but that Antarctic sun is just wrapped in a shroud, looking like a soundstage filmed up in the hills. Union Glacier actors working for the thrills. A stage illusion, yeah, revealed too soon. Just a high-def sticker on a fake-ass moon. No live stream, no parallax in the light. Shadows looking heavy and the colors too bright. Mountains glowing strange in a purple Ukraine. Just a scripted ass tale that the trolls pre-arranged. No evidence, no data, no facts on the plate. Just flip-flop preacher trying to dictate the state. Listen up the truth, listen up the truth. With every digital lie, while the globe trolls laugh as the time flies by. Now, Now check the inner circle. The trolls and the fakes sitting at the table eating glow from the steaks. Will's got his buddies a whole digital pack, posting doctor footage just to keep us off track. And the flat earth shields, man, that part of the play lead you down a dead end, then they look the other way. Now Duran's like a golem, yeah, he's switching aside. Pockets full of silver where the shills all high. I was wrong, he said, with a look so fake, selling out the movement for the trolls' namesake. And Winston's in the corner, blowing vape in the shade, while the cameras hide the games that the deceivers play. Flat Earth Day, he's out here promoting the case like a high-priced store, just setting the chase. Chasing blood trolls, they're one and the same. Playing with the truth like it's all just a game. Deception's got the public walking totally blind, while they manufacture visions in the back of your mind. Fast TV on mistakes, yeah, they start to appear. Watch the Selena in the clouds just disappear. Check the site, homie, cause the fraud is right here. But they feed it on the weekend, they feed it the fear. No evidence, no data, no facts on the plate. Just flip-flop preaching, trying to dictate the state. Twisting up the truth, twisting up the food with every digital lie, while the globe trolls laugh as the time flies by. Yeah, if you know like I know, Will Duffy. Yeah, we see the receipts. You're all on the same payroll. 213, all the way to the ice wall. Yeah.
All right, great song by Steve McNamee from Ireland. Shout out to you, brother. I really like this song, you know. So it's in the playlist right there at the very end. True Christian says, Brother Banjo, could you please share with us the details on Jaden's connection with Bobby and Earhart's son, Dominic? Yes, I haven't seen that information before, and many others probably also haven't either. Okay, let me explain what's going on. When the very first time that Will Duffy went to Jaden's show in January 2024, when he hadn't even disclosed the whole TFE. I think I don't know. It was the very first show, the one that he showed the moon. He covered one of his eyes, you know. All right, so they were talking, and I tried to find that show. I was going to. Somebody might have it because Jaden either deleted or is behind a paywall. I don't know. It's not there anymore. So as they were talking, you know, and Duffy was talking about Colorado, the church, Agape Church, and then Jaden said, "Oh, that's Bobby Earhart's church, right?" Yeah. So he worked with Bobby Earhart. He started praising Bobby Earhart. You know, very weird because Jaden is anti-Christian. He would start praising Bobby Earhart, and Bobby Earhart was very radical, like. Radical in the sense like politically motivated. You know, he was into politics, you know, politically involved. But then he said, I know his son, Dominic, you know, he's talking about, yeah, I know his son, Dominic, blah, 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 you know. So that was so weird because how, you know, Jaron, this assistant manager, CVS, you know, then get this the True Frequency radio show, you know, gets in a movie Behind the Curve, and then he claims to be friends of Dominic, son of Bob Earhart, which is it's considered to be a radical Christian, you know, opposite to what Jaron even likes, or you know, and he was praising Bob Earhart. He doesn't like Christianity, Christian pastors, or anything, you know. And so very weird, that connection. It's extremely weird. So that's why I highlighted that on the song. It's a weird connection, you know. It's all central casting anyway. They're all paid actors. You know, all of them paid actors. So I did see another comment here that I wanted to highlight. I think it was Tom's Lab about the CIA being Jesuit, yeah, because they have the same tactics. The Jesuit, I think they have tactics that are even more considered to be like, I don't know how you'd say it's even better tactics than the CIA. I think that's the correct explanation. So somebody says here to pray for an airplane, just like that pastor. Yeah, the pastor is praying so his members can give him a newer airplane because his $12 million airplane, he's not happy with that, you know. So that's why I don't believe those prophets anymore. People talking about prophets. Oh, I saw the end. I don't believe. I just don't believe this stuff anymore. I played a video last weekend of a lady claiming that she saw in prophecy that she was taken to space and she saw the planets. Oh, they were all balls. I just don't believe that stuff anymore. All right, so I do have one more song. I don't want to close the show down, so hang around. I want to play one more song, and then we'll come back for the final considerations. So that's the man. I think I had too much sugar this weekend. Can't see it at all. This one. Okay, so let's listen to this song. It's pretty funny.
All the CGI goes glitchy witch out in space with the camera switch. Did you see that background switch? Glitchy witchy woo. Did you see the airplane glitchy witch? Zip line removing the actors in a lift. And to AI they have switched. Switchy witchy woo. You've had 50 years to get it right, but you still can't film a real space flight. If it's real like you try to say, then why's it glitching anyway? Then why's it glitching anyway? The sheep don't notice the glitchy witch. They don't believe there was a switchy witch. They clap like seals and fund the rich. Glitchy witchy woo. And if you think we've hallucinated, then you must be vaccinated. Then you must be vaccinated. All the CGI goes glitchy witch out in space with the camera switch. Did you see that background switch? Glitchy witchy woo. Did you see the airplane glitchy witch? Zip line removing the actors in a lift. And to AI they have switched. Switchy witchy woo. You've had 50 years to get it right, but you still can't film a real space flight. If it's real like you try to say, then why's it glitching anyway? Then why's it glitching anyway? The sheep don't notice the glitchy witch. They don't believe there was a switchy witch. They clap like seals and fund the rich. Glitchy witchy woo. And if you think we've hallucinated, then you must be vaccinated. Then you must be vaccinated. All the CGI goes glitchy witch out in space with the camera switch. Did you see that background twitch? Glitchy witchy woo. Glitchy witchy woo. Glitchy witchy woo.
All right, if you think we've hallucinated, then you must have been vaccinated. Yeah, great song. That's the Queen of Space on TikTok. She made it really short, I asked her, why you made it so short? So I make it a little bit longer. Great song. So let me address some of the messages here that I have not, and I apologize. So interesting to know, The Thief in the Night, 1972, is on YouTube. It was the Rapture movie that the Assembly of God showed to scare the hell out of them back in the day. Yes, so scary tactics. That's, I don't like it. And that's, in Brazil has had, the problem, guys. That's my big disappointment, and I'm a Baptist, but I'm big disappointed because I think 40% of Protestants pastors or more are Freemasons. When I moved to the States, that I went to college there, so they asked me to fill out a form, to see which religious affiliation I was part of, and then I checked Baptist. So I had a Baptist pastor visiting us to invite us to go to his church. Very nice person. I like him. And then somebody told me, oh, this pastor, he's also a master, whatever, in the Mason Lodge in town. And I was like, how? How can it even be? And what happened in Brazil recently, there was an election in an Assembly of God, and they were choosing members. So that church has like 600 members, I guess. And what happened is they had flyers stuck on their bathrooms, on the stalls, like inside the bathrooms for men and women. It's like a warning. There was a Freemason sign and say, you got to vote for this candidate. You better vote for this candidate. So they took over. And I have a book. One of my students took it home. It was written by a uh, Anglican pastor back in 1940s or 50s. He tried to have a convention in England to expel all Freemasons who were clergy, in the clergy, or to make them to disclosure that they were Freemasons, okay? And it was a big thing because it was like 70% of the clergy of the Anglican Church was Freemason. He tried to expel them. He was not successful. He ended up leaving the Anglican Church. So I think in Brazil, 40 or 50% of them are Freemasons, and they all push this end times, Daniel 9. That's why I'm really like, I don't know. I don't know. So we are surrounded by shields, central casting, and we have the CIA, which is Catholics in action. Thanks for this comment. Another one here. You're going to talk about the alien disclosure when you come back. Well, the alien disclosure, the thing is like there is a movie coming out now. I think it's when it's June by Steven Spielberg. It's a movie about the alien disclosure. It's coming out now. I think it's in June. So they are preparing. I just played the video of the Australian Congress person or House member of the Parliament there, saying he was briefed about this alien disclosure. There's a new website created now in March. Just show I might go back. They will be, let me share this again. Where is it? It's right here, okay? So March 18, 2026, White House writes the new alien-related gov domains. So they are preparing to make public. So my idea, I even just say that last week with this whole Iran war, they're probably going to try to throw a bomb there, claiming it's a nuclear bomb, and that bomb will not be going off and not explode. And they will say, oh, aliens are here. They intervene. They are seeking, peace, all that stuff. So that's my idea on this whole alien disclosure. And I think it's coming this year. We've been talking about for several years, but I think 2026 is the disclosure year. I think it's going to be this year, because they're ready to change the markets and everything, the dollar, everything that's going on. So I think they're going to do it this year, 2026, And 2027 is going to be a bad year. It's going to be, here in Japan, I erased, I had something to show here. I ended up deleting. But it's talking about Japan is preparing for some sort of war, creating bunkers. So, it's probably going to be this year. All right, so what else? No, I was a Baptist. until I read the Bible, and that I now were wrong about Torah. Yeah, I mean, but I think that most of those churches are, 50% of pastors, 40. I don't know the right amount. Let me tell you this, okay? I read this blog. I cannot find this blog anymore because this blog was the old style blog from 2000s, mid 2014, 13, those old blogs. So this blog was from a pastor. He was telling his story. He was hired by a church. So he sold his house where he was pastoring. He moved to this new town. He bought a house. He had his family. He enrolled his kids in a new school. Everything was new to him. It was beautiful. And then he preached his first sermon. I mean, after he officially got hired, he preached a sermon before, so the members of the church chose him among several candidates, and they liked him. So he officially took over that church. He was hired. He was now living in his new house. The kids were in the new school. He preached his first sermon as the pastor of that church. His first sermon was about Freemasonry. He preached against Freemasonry. And he tells in this blog, I cannot find the blog anymore, that soon after the service was over, 7 out of the 9 deacons called him into an office and told him he had like 1 week to move out because all those 7 deacons were Freemasons, member of the lodge. And he wrote saying, "No, I just bought a house. I just had this. My daughters are going to school." And they gave him like 1 week to pack his things and move out. So many of these churches, the seminars, I'm telling you guys, the seminars, the books, all those end of times, those people pushing this whole, pause in the Daniel's prophecy. I mean, they are because they love the temple of Solomon. That's why they want a third temple, because they want the third temple of Solomon. And I even show how, let me Google real quick here for you to see this pastor and the Templo Universal. I'm gonna show this temple in Brazil. It costed millions of dollars to be built. So this pastor built this. You might think that this is the Temple of Solomon or something. No, this is a church. Okay, this is a church in Brazil, right? It's huge. People who went there, walk by. Okay, this is a church in Brazil. So this pastor of this church here, he was caught during the COVID, since they couldn't have services. He was caught on a live stream. And just like I have my Gleason's map here, I guess he didn't know. He wasn't, he was new, I guess, to streaming. He was streaming from his living room, and he had Albert Pike, this guy here. He had the Albert Pike frame behind his desk, big Albert Pike frame. So we know he's a Freemason. So that's why he likes the temple. So all those people pushing third temple, they might have connection with Freemasonry, So y'all have to be careful with this third temple stuff. It's not biblical. It's not there, But these guys, and now I am suspicious of many other pastors that I now think they are Freemasons. I'm suspicious of many. But I don't know, I can't prove it. I don't care. You can be, but if you're deceiving the brothers and sisters preaching stuff that's biblical, then, I might have a problem with that. All right, guys, I want to share one more time my website here. If you want to support the channel, The song is right there. Go to my playlist, TFE, into a song, but just go to any of my videos and visit the store. You know, perhaps you can give a map to somebody. They have maps, t-shirts there. Just support the channel somehow. If you want to become a member, sorry, if you want to become a Patreon, go to my Patreon page. I have a little bit over a dozen Patreons, 10 years now on YouTube. Never pushed for that. I never needed. The last 2 years, things have become really rough. So I decided to have a Patreon page. If you guys can, be part of it. But if not, everything is here for free. Download songs, maps, everything here. You can download for free, share. And I think it's now officially time to end the show. Let me see how long we've been going on. Now I need my reading glasses, perhaps I'll go on for another 5 minutes. I don't want to end the show in 1:33, so let's just check the comments one more time. I don't want to, end the show because the ending song is 6 minutes. So it's 1:26 now, so I don't want to take risks. All right, so let me see here the comments. I apologize. I got to put on my reading glasses. Truth is a high value commodity anymore. Yes, a lot of church preaching, things that are not biblical. And but I love the Greek language. I checked my DNA, a long time ago. I know that I'm 20% Greek. I found out. Not sure. Greek, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. And in the New Testament, so many letters written in Greek. So if I have to call, I would say Christos or Jesus. Okay. The Portuguese language and the Greek language has a lot of similarities as far as some pronunciations. Okay. So, but that's as far as I go through that. I don't study. I had a New Testament in Greek once. I left it in Brazil, so I should have studied more actually. Sometimes I get some good comments from people in Greece. There are many flat earthers there. Okay, let me put on my reading glasses again. Klaus Schwab's pandemic could be soon. Yes, yeah. Everything's coming perhaps this year, 2026, and 2027 be ready for lots of lockdowns. Talking about the oil lockdowns, I think Japan has another month or two of reserve. It needs reserves. So, a lot of, I don't know, we prepare for the worst. All right. So let me see. Yeah, the more we learn about I like it, the whole Reformation stuff. As a Baptist, I am, but now I start thinking that the whole Reformation and Catholics, they were working together to destroy much of the Christianity. And as I think the millennial kingdom is past, they were destroying a lot of that evidence. All right. I'm thinking now it's safe to end the show. So, guys, I appreciate. I really have. I really hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I tried always to share some information, and we covered this, some of the Artemis too. It's so hard to keep up because NASA releases so many. You saw the green. I think I have a green. Perhaps I do. The green screen stuff. Oh, I think I don't. I thought I did, you know. Yeah, there's some green screen stuff, on this whole. Just like the TFE when they showed the guy was there and showed the letters was written, very similar. They are holding an animal, a stuffed animal, and that animal shows letters, written. It's very similar to the TFE. I thought I had saved the video. I did not. But it's out there. I think Russian Vids just uploaded a video about it. And I think he's talking about that, So check out Russian Vids channel. I think he just uploaded a video on that glitchy, So I guess that's all for today. I appreciate you all for being here. I do appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you all my dozen, a little bit over the dozen Patreons. Thank you so much. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. I hope to be back next week if the Lord so allows me to be here. And I think that's going to be all for today. Okay, we're going to close with the song Strategy Curious by Dave J. Carroll. Thanks so much, guys. Check out the Flat Earth music playlist. All the songs we hear here, you'll find there. See you next week. Take care, guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon, hydrogen with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, 10th air pressure, left for dead, trapped in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, let there be light, supernatural, eternal, up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulus, nimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, flat right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, to forever, short time past, intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, keep through you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in the shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning road there. Stars on the firmament, turn about around us, to forever, short time past, geometrically there. You'll never be
truth when they reach for the stars. Explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us. We see through you like air.